Check.
Alrighty. Hi, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for August 6, 2024. We'll start with the sniper trade of the day. Did some work today and yesterday on the problems with VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, which makes the markets a challenge, obviously. It turns out that there is a counterbalancing force for each one of those that we can use to help reduce some of that impact. VUCA prime. For volatility, we counteract with vision. For uncertainty, we counteract with understanding. For complexity, we substitute clarity. And for ambiguity, we counteract with adaptation, and it moves us towards the left. Low VUCA or VUCA prime. So there's ways that you can train to do that. And it's always to your advantage if you are a disciplined rules-based trader, if you can get that done. All right, let's take a look at the sniper trades of the day. This first one is DIA on 10 minutes. All right, so here's yesterday's close. Here's your opening range 10. And your R10 reversed, came through the dragon, spine, PSAR, VWAP, and Bollinger Band mean. So when it hits that 10 bar high and the next bar continues to go, we go ahead and buy it here. We're aiming for this first, the 3-day anchored VWAP. If it gets there, we should be in good shape. We put our standard risk on it, gets through the VWAP, rolls over, the RL10 rolls over. So this turns out to be a 1, 2, 3 exit. 1, 2, 3, and at the skin of the dragon. So it's kind of a perfectly logical place to get out. And for 1 unit of risk, it gives us about 2 units of reward. So right by the numbers. That's a COTA 2 reentry based off a 1, 2, 3, and it takes out that second bar high. So I get it here. Same size risk box. Now I'm looking for that. My target is to get above this line here. If it can get above there, then I should be good to go. It's just a tactical trade inside here. It's just trying to find its way and gain some traction. Kind of stabilizes. Now it breaks out. That's good. And gives me a PSAR close near the last half hour. And that also gives 2R. One unit of risk, 2 units of reward. And like the S&P itself, this thing did kind of a nosedive in the last hour to close low. So that makes tomorrow a perfectly open-ended kind of a day when it closes here. If it were to open exactly right there, I would simply take one of these risk boxes on either side and then just play the breakout whichever way it goes, using the center line as my initial risk. or my initial risk. Okay. So that's what I'm hoping to see tomorrow. Next up is EWW. And here is yesterday's close. Here's the gap down. And that opening range 10 is really wild. But it opened here, sold off, closed higher. The next bar started to take off. So rather than wait for it to break out, I just grabbed it here because you have a rising VWAP. You're above the Bollinger Band mean. The dragon has turned. The RL30 is just about ready to turn now into an owl pattern. So I just decided to hold my nose and front run that and get in just a little bit earlier than I might otherwise. And I'm looking forward to achieve the return to the 3-day anchored VWAP. See how that goes. It gives a fractional gain when it comes back to the VWAP the third time and started to stabilize. Nothing going on there. And that's all there was for me. I had better things going on. So gains a fraction. This one is EWZ. 10 minutes. Yesterday's close, nice healthy gap up. OR 10. It breaks down, so I get short. This is going to be my standard risk box. -1, stop and reverse, scratch, just take a break. Try the Kata 2 long, about 3R, and a pretty good day at work. So 3 long, 1 short, net 2 in Brazil. Good day at work. I'm going to check on the traders here. So here's Jonathan. This one is DIA, but he's going on the 3-minute. And there's yesterday's close. Here's his OR3 box. It breaks out. He makes 3.5. Re-entry, Kata 2, emerging dragon makes a half. Takes the SFC. Nice exit for 1.39. Could have kept going. That's the next logical play. To talk to that young man. And the reason this one is such a good play is look at the state. We're in the harsh winter. This one is a nice play because you just were in the coming through the Red River and breaking down and going short. So that sort of is the collapse move. So really well done for Jonathan, right by the numbers. Hamad does a scratch in XLE. There was a little bit of gains early, but mostly sideways chop, and then he stays out of the chop. In DIA, he pulls in 2.6 with 3 really nice trades, the usual way. In EWZ, he brings in a -0.5 and a +0.2. So, and then another piece over here, 0.8. So he nets 0.4, and that's over 3.5 R for the day. So good work all the way across the board. Really nice. This is an update on Luke Crockford's 5-minute automated, fully robotic trading platform. It took 70 trades today and returned 23R. with a very simple set of rules that he's now got fully automated. And we'll be looking at starting up a pilot course on how to trade that. So be on the lookout for that announcement if you're interested in that kind of system. And you should be. This is a nice update from Hamad on his after action review, the daily. I just wanted to share. You guys are all familiar with what we do here on this side with the plan, prepare, execute, assess. Each has a certain topic in his world, and he looks to sustain things, improve things, and then take specific actions. He's now learned to take those notes, and as he gets entries or insightful moments in his journal, he talks about things that, what were the best things about today's trade? Because I want to do more of those. What was the worst thing or the least effective? I at least want to understand what I was trying to do or what the system is supposed to do, even if I didn't do it well. And maybe I need to change my mindset on how to look at those things. Or it just maybe it wasn't that day for that system. So we investigate, we explain, we propose new ideas, we learn to accept the intention of the idea and then find a different way to do it. On the best takeaways, these are things that are immediately available to be added to your trading process, like no-brainer good ideas, instantaneous use. And then his questions, we answer them in writing. And his biggest surprise becomes things that work like this, down at the level of assumptions and beliefs. That influences your visions and your feelings. And then your conscious mind is up in here trying to engage in the world. And we have a theory about how the world works based on our assumptions and beliefs. And when we get disconfirming information and we're surprised by it, that tells us that we need to drive on back down into the assumptions, that subconscious pool, in order to see what was out of sync and do we need to do anything about it. So he's made a nice addition there to his trading journal. Looks good. The coaching session from this Sunday was really quite good and was worth the price of admission into the coaching program for him. And you get access to all those if you elect to join the coaching. We still got a few slots left open for the October cohort if you're interested. It's a year long and of direct engagement, plus you get lifetime access to the information in there. Pretty good deal. Trying to get my Zoom to work here. Stand by. There we go. Had a slight recovery on the daily charts, as you can see here. Yesterday's big sell-off. Nice healthy response for day one, although the last move in the last hour was weak. It still was able to put in some gains for the day, so we're slightly optimistic. Here's the 30-minute chart. You can still see we got back to the 3-day anchored VWAP, and now we've got the 5, 10, and 30-day VWAPs in our sights to climb that wall of tears. Still bullish volatile. You see the 2-day recovery indicator. Volatility, another spiky event. We're past 2 sigma. Now all of these indexes have come online and are asking for swing trades and buy on dips. So we'll be mindful of that as a high payoff market condition for short-term trades. That could influence the upside. In the ETF, I should go back. Dow Tactical Summary, excuse me. A couple breakdowns still in Chevron and Merck. Lots of auto framers to choose from. ETF tactical summary, just about everything is favorably set up for ETF2 and the buy on dips. No significant breakdowns or breakouts today. Just about everything's on the auto framer for trade framing. It's a buyer's market. Don't chase. Let's see. Again, on the auto framer from TC2000, same thing. Just about everything in the whole stack is on sale and very inviting. The Four Seasons still being dominated by winter and fall. No surprise there. In the NDX, no breakouts. We had a couple breakdowns in Merck and Chevron. Strength in Latin America and Brazil and finance are noteworthy. In the frog list, marijuana, Tesla, Nvidia, Intel. So the semis are really dominating that lineup. You can see the 2 days of little bit of recovery that we have in place. But still, this is a very fragile market and we treat it with respect. That's your little favorable recovery moment here. The long term is still positive. It's at the top of the Yellow River. So we'll see how much of the residual goodwill that was earned on those two legs up are still in play for the long side here. And that's everything for tonight. We'll get this published and posted, and we'll be ready for them tomorrow. That's for sure. Take good care. See you tomorrow.